Hello and welcome to Quickfire Reviews, your no BS, straight to the point entertainment review channel. In today's video, we're checking out Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, so let's get into it. As the name indicates, this is the third and possibly final entry for the Guardians of the Galaxy franchise. The film opens up with a glimpse into the life of the Guardians hanging out at their home base on Nowhere and still kind of grieving the loss of Gamora. The action kicks off right away, a new villain is introduced, and they don't waste any time getting into it. And in this entry, Rocket the Raccoon takes center stage as we learn all about his history through a series of flashbacks. The performances in this film are hit or miss, like they tend to be with most Marvel films. I will say that the work they did on Rocket, particularly when he's younger, is awesome. I don't know whether that was mo-capped or if it was all CGI, but either way, phenomenal job. The emotions really conveyed. If you don't know, Rocket's backstory is pretty dark, and they definitely explore that. So really appreciated what they did with Rocket. The other standout performance by far is the villain, the High Evolutionary. The character is abusive, he's unpredictable, he's a megalomaniac, and the actor does a really good job in making you feel uncomfortable in a lot of the scenes that he's in. That is a testament to the actor's ability to make us hate that character. The rest of the main cast, for the most part, does an okay job, but they don't have a ton of material to work with. I was excited to see Will Poulter's Adam Warlock, but honestly, they don't really give him much to do. Chris Pratt's good as Star-Lord, as always. There were some okay performances from the rest, like, I don't know, Mantis, Drax, there's some stuff in there that I didn't feel really fit, but can't just blame the actress for that. I think a lot of that is due to the script. Obviously, Guardians is supposed to be a comedy, and there's some jokes that land well and others that just really miss the mark. Which leads me to my biggest gripe with this movie, and that is the overall execution. First of all, it's about 2.5 hours long. It did not need to be that long. I don't know why the Marvel directors and writers feel like they have to make these movies super long. In some cases it's justified, in this case it was not. Which is interesting because, as I said earlier, the movie kicks off with action right away. There's just this little bit of a lull, I would say, probably in the later stages of the second act, that I thought was almost unnecessary. The other big thing that this film really suffers from is cast bloat. There's so many characters here, so we already have a big group of characters with the Guardians. Now we're adding a whole bunch of other characters like Sean Gunn's character, we got Cosmo in there, we get Adam Warlock, we get Adam Warlock's mom, we get Nathan Fillion playing a security guard. We get all of these characters thrown at us, and they don't all have their time to shine. So what I would have liked to have seen in this film is a more intimate look at the bond between the main Guardians of the Galaxy, because that's really what this is about. This is supposed to be their farewell, their swan song. It's supposed to be an emotional and dark film given the context of Rocket's history. But I don't feel like we quite got there. I feel like they spent a lot of time introducing new characters that they really didn't need to. And I don't know if this is just Marvel or superhero fatigue, but I definitely started to feel, at least in the first hour, that some of the action scenes were just kind of boring. They were losing my attention, and it just felt like a big CG mess. And I thought, you know, why are we doing this again and again and again? Now that said, there is one action scene towards the end of the film that's extremely well done. When you see it, you'll know it. It's a really nice kind of montage of a fight where every single Guardian gets the chance to shine, and I thought that was really cool. And definitely one of the more memorable fight scenes from a Marvel movie in the last couple of years. And the last thing I want to mention about execution is they had a really awesome opportunity to explore Rocket's dark past, and they do, but I feel like they held back. It's almost like Marvel just didn't want to completely go there, so they kind of gave us a glimpse into it, and it was enough to make people feel for Rocket and learn more about that character, and I thought that it was done decently well, but they could have leaned into it a lot more and arguably could have solidified this as one of the best films that Marvel's produced in the last couple of years. So in summary, what do we think about Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3? Well, first of all, it's a Marvel movie. You know what you're gonna get. There's gonna be lots of action, lots of CG, there's gonna be some comedy, it's gonna be family friendly. They do all of that stuff as they always do. There's a lot of pacing issues in the middle, particularly when they go to Counter-Earth. They spend a lot of time doing some stuff there that I think is really just to get a couple laughs that don't really land, so that was not great for me. I also found that because there were so many dramatic tone shifts in this movie, often they would start exploring a really dark topic and then like pan over to somebody who would make a one-liner that wasn't all that funny. And it just really takes us out of that moment as the audience. I think that there were too many characters in this movie. I would have liked to have seen a much more intimate film that focused on our original Guardians, explored Rocket's background, and leaned more into the really dark aspects of it. I think it's easy for a lot of people to hate on Marvel because they had a really, I would say, lackluster Phase 4. And you're probably gonna get a lot of people that are saying that either this movie's terrible and feels like everything else in Phase 4, or this is the best Marvel movie we've had in years and it's so good and you have to go see it. I would say it's neither of those things. It falls in the middle for me. Generally speaking, Marvel movies are decent. You know what you're gonna get. It's family fun, it's good action. It's always great seeing these characters come to life on screen, especially if you're a fan of the comics. I would agree that this one is better than most of what we've seen from Marvel in the last couple of years, but I really think that's a testament to James Gunn's writing and directing style, and also that we've got an interesting cast of characters that are quirky, that are offbeat, and it gives us the opportunity to just kind of sit back and have fun with them. So, with all of that in mind, Quickfire Reviews is going to give Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 a 7 out of 10. I do think you should see this movie. I think it's better than most of what Marvel has put out in the last couple of years. It's fun to see these characters one more time on screen, and I really like that they spent the time exploring a dark concept, even if they didn't fully get there. But as always, I would love to hear what you thought, so if you saw Guardians and you've got some feedback, drop it in the comments, let me know what you think. How do you feel this stacks up against other Marvel films? I really appreciate you hanging out with me today. If you haven't liked and subscribed, please do so now, and I can't wait to see you in the next one. Quickfire out.